Hi, Gemini. Welcome to your first half of February general reading. Please, as always, take what resonates, leave the rest. This can be for your sun, moon, or rising in Gemini. Feel free to look at your other signs in case this one doesn't click. If the message does resonate with you, there are links down to donate, as well as get a chance to check out which decks I've used, and even book a one-on-one session with me for further clarity. So feel free to explore at your leisure. Otherwise, let us hop into the reading. So I'm going to get us started with a few cards, and we'll see what's available for you. I feel in need of having to rest one's eyes. Perhaps you're looking or investigating something. You're looking at something too intensely. Maybe it's one type of perspective that you're maybe a bit stuck in, and it's necessary to offer yourself some type of respite, looking away, maybe kind of working adjacent toward whatever it is that you're focusing on, but finding some type of relief in the peripheral. There are some things around whatever it is that you're focused on that may be the right space for you. And it could be that you're really focused on finding some type of resolution, figuring out what's right for you. Maybe you're seeking information in order to make some type of decision. And so you're really creating a lot of tension and pressure throughout this space. And I feel like Aquarius is kind of also in this bag right now. A lot of us are, to be honest, because February marks the end of the winter as we enter into March. And I'm a huge proponent of following natural cycles, and spring is really when our new year begins, and that's when we start to do something new and work on our resolutions, focus on our intentions, and really bringing them to fruition. And right now we're still in a place where we're integrating a lot of the stuff that we've been confronted with for the past several months to a year, right? So anyways, what we have right now on the table, I'm sorry, that's my dog in the background. We just got a new kitty, and so he is really excited to meet him. Anyways, the first card that we have here is the Knight of Pentacles reversed. Something didn't go according to plan, and a lot of us can say that, right? But with this Knight of Pentacles, it's almost like you just want to burn everything down and start fresh. Maybe there's some frustration here. Almost just like it's like the end of the world, and maybe it's just you're really overwhelmed at all of the things that are still on your to-do list, things that still haven't happened, plans that have kind of fallen to the wayside. And so you're wondering, all right, well, should I plan something else? What should I be doing? Can I continue to go down this pathway? There's been a lot of resistance, I've met a lot of challenge. But then here's that Four of Wands, which is just go a little farther. There may be some type of checkpoint that you may reach in this month that offers you the encouragement to keep moving forward, that offers you that place of rest. And this could also symbolize the needing to kind of look in your periphery, to check all of the corners of your mind maybe, or all of the corners of the room, the space that you're in, to see if there's anything you've overlooked. There could be something that was really meant for you that is just adjacent to what you may have your sights on, whatever's in your crosshair, right? And just because it's not, and there may be some resistance in terms of maybe some of the resources or some of the physical setbacks that may have appeared, some of the material setbacks that may have appeared, whether you are worried about finances or something that you have to invest in, something that you have to get. It's time to get creative. It's time to look beyond what's there and to really work with what you've got. You can make it happen. And let's see what else we have here. We have the Nine of Swords. And so there's maybe you're not feeling very creative. Maybe it's a matter you're dealing too much with facts and figures. And so you're really kind of keeping yourself chained or beholden to some type of practicality or way to be a little bit more pragmatic in your approach, instead of actually dreaming and allowing yourself to move forward with a more creative sense of inspiration. And so it's like you may need to look to other people that are in your field or adjacent to your field, or maybe it's time to, you know, do a little bit of research if that helps you. If you're someone who relies on facts and figures and solid information. Otherwise, play. Get in touch with how you're feeling. What is it that you don't like about what you're doing? What is it that you don't like about the plans? Which plans fell away? You know, do they even match who you are and where you are now? And even then, it's like, I think this is calling you to reassess, because maybe the things you once wanted are no longer in alignment with who you've become, who you are in this present moment. And so fighting that is like creating resistance, and it's like you're fighting yourself trying to go back to who you once were instead of becoming who you're becoming, right? And the card at the bottom of the deck is this Two of Swords. So it's, yeah, you're having trouble making this decision, figuring out what to surrender to. You've created a lot of resistance for yourself, and maybe you're having doubts about the way forward, you know? And just because it isn't easy doesn't mean it isn't right. Sometimes we just need to simplify a little bit. I feel like maybe you're overcomplicating things, or maybe creating plans that you can't follow through on. Maybe they feel a little bit overwhelming. There are certain things that you feel like you need to learn. Start with what you know and let it grow from there. Like, you know, use what you know in order to let it grow. That one's free. Anyways, let's see what else we've got here. Three of Swords. A lot of people have been getting this. Pay attention to your feelings. What do you can't be sitting in all the things that have gone awry, all the woulda, coulda, shoulda, like I was telling Pisces, I believe. So if you have any Pisces in your chart, be sure to check out that reading as well. Or someone that you may be dealing with may be a Pisces. And this could be someone that could really kind of help you get out of your rut a little bit if you open yourself up to it. I feel like it's like you continuously put on a mask to show that everything's all right, when in all actuality you need to be real and honest and raw about what's going on. Perhaps you fear that your image will be shattered in some form or fashion if you're more truthful about what it is that you're going through. Perhaps there's a little bit of shame in what's been going on, and so you've been hiding a lot of what's happening on underneath the surface, what's really going on. Here we have the Queen of Swords reverse. You know, maybe you've been really mean to yourself, or perhaps someone you feel like someone's going to judge you, someone's going to be really harsh toward you. And I feel like that's not the case. We have this King of Wands underneath it. You need to feel more confident. You're the one that's perhaps creating a lot of, you know, this fear around whatever this feedback is, because you feel really confused. You feel very unclear about what other people stand, or even where you stand with yourself. And it's almost like you feel like you got knocked down a peg or two. But in all actuality, the things that just weren't for you are just falling away. You know, the things that probably wouldn't have worked out, or the places where you perhaps are probably trying to do much that didn't align with what you're about to embark upon, you know, that's just what's happening right now. And so it's necessary to regain your courage, your strength, and be able to move forward in a creative way, feeling really confident about the choices that you make, and not feeling obligated to continue along a certain direction if it just doesn't fit you. I feel like you're trying to move outside of yourself in some way, and you're doing something that almost feels very out of body, which has you in this like fear mode, this need to protect oneself. It's because you're not fully present with what you're creating. Instead, you're maybe looking at other people and deciding, well, I'm going to try to do it like them because that's what people want. And it's like, that's not necessarily the case. That's just what works for them. Maybe that's perfect for the person that's producing that. So how can you be someone who produce and honors your truth and your ability and your uniqueness, your creativity at the same time? Because you got to be able to feel secure in that. You got to feel at home in that. You got to be able to call the people that are going to resonate with who you are in your most natural state. And I feel like perhaps you've been moving in really unnatural ways, just kind of looking at, okay, well, this is what works, you know, this is what they say works, so I'm just going to go with this, right? I'm looking at my clock, 4:34. Angel numbers have been following me like crazy. So with this, what I'm feeling is like there's some integrations, like you really have to pay attention to how your actions, do they match up with what you want, the life you want to create, with who you are when you're at your most vivacious and excited and inspired. You know, does the life that you're create allow space for that? All right, so with this Knight of Pentacles here, we have what I believe is the Knight of Cups. And so you're not really using your imagination, and that's what's kind of creating this chaos for you. That's why these things kind of aren't, moving through. It's because you're not being committed to yourself and what you actually want. You're committed to a sense, the idea of it, what you're seeing you're supposed to want, if that makes sense. You're just kind of maybe being a bit of a bit of a tyrant with yourself, and not really offering the correct energy, not putting it out there, and there's some dissonance, and that's why people really aren't picking up on it. That's why these plans are kind of falling through the cracks. Here with this Four of Wands, we have the Four of Cups. Interesting. I love how these energies are matching up. So it feels almost just like you need to readjust your energy. You've been focused kind of in the wrong place, in the wrong suit. It's like we have the Pentacles and then the Cups. We have the Wands and then the Cups. It's about the emotions. How do you feel moving forward? How do you feel about the ways in which you did try to move forward in the past? It's really assessing how the process makes you feel, feeling into it. And so with this Four of Cups, the universe wants to offer you something. As soon as you wake up and kind of complete this lesson, the universe is going to offer you something. You're going to be offering yourself something that brings you some stability, makes you feel safe, and enjoying in whatever creation that it is. It allows you to feel like you're really aligned with yourself, that you can show up and you're already dressed for the life you want, as opposed to having to go shopping for new clothes. All right, let's see what else is here. Because I feel like maybe there's even someone that's been watching you and they're a little disappointed because they know who you are, or that you could do better. I'm kind of picking up on that. And here we have the Emperor. With this Nine of Swords. And you've been really focused on doing things the right way, but not doing things that are right for you. There's a bit of self-mastery that needs to go on here. There's a bit of being able to rely on yourself to create, and not try to protect yourself. You got to be invested. Business is personal, and you got to allow yourself to infuse more personality in whatever you do or however you're applying yourself. Maybe if this isn't a relationship, maybe you've been kind of cold, maybe you've been withdrawn, and someone therefore is just kind of following suit. You could be pushing someone or something away by not fully being yourself, and so it's kind of creating this like listlessness. All right. Three of Swords, Three of Cups. So whatever this is, it's being hard on oneself, however it is, it's really not allowing you to come together. It's not allowing you to bring all the pieces together and to make something whole. It's like you've kind of isolated yourself in some way. Maybe you don't feel very seen, maybe you don't feel very appreciated, and it's largely due to the fact that you're not honoring what you're able to do. Perhaps you've been holding yourself off, trying to make improvements, trying to figure things out, trying to calculate, and it's like this is not about flying a plane. Like you're not trying to pilot right now. What you're trying to do is just ride, be a passenger for a minute. It's like your higher self has it, it's taking care of it. There's something about having to retrace your steps and start back from the beginning, like wherever you started, bringing that beginner's mind back to the space, back to the approach. We have the Fool with the Queen of Swords. So it's just like, you're not being yourself, you're not really taking any risks, you're trying to take the safe route, and the safe route is whatever somebody else is doing. Or maybe someone's trying to encourage you to do what everyone else is doing. But either way, it's like you're doing that, but it's like it's really upsetting you. It's something about like having to conform. It's something about conforming that's just like not right. But it's like you almost feel like you got to play the game, and it's like you can still play the game, but you can bend the rules a little bit. But what are those rules at the same time? Here we have another Swords card. And what I feel like is interesting is it's almost like you got to take a look at yourself in the mirror. Maybe do a meditation or something where you actually look and gaze at your reflection in the mind's eyes. Like, how do you look? Because that can tell you kind of where you are and the aspect of you that is perhaps blocking whatever it is that you're trying to actualize right now. It's really time to take pause and to really observe oneself. It could be that you're really not trusting or having faith in the universe, having faith in your own ideas and inspirations to be able to carry you forward. I feel like you're avoiding some type of idea or concept that could really bring you and deliver you to where you want to go. And I don't know, I feel like there's some type of, I don't know, I feel like there's some type of award or accolade from the past, something from the past that you kind of walked away from. Because either you've been hurt or it was unfulfilling, or you put in a lot of effort but didn't get too far. And that's what's kind of caused that divergence from that path. It's kind of made your heart turn to stone to a certain degree. And now you're just kind of, really trying to slice and dice your way through, to whatever the end is, using the wrong means to an end. And it's like, how can you allow every moment to be the destination? How can you create the lifestyle you're striving for? How can you create that now for yourself? Create that feeling and trust yourself in order to do that. It's like whatever beliefs you have, you believe whatever it is separate from you. It's not you. And you feel like maybe you're missing something. But it's really that you've just maybe abandoned yourself in pursuit of something, and you've got to be able to retrieve that. Again, this is really bringing me big Aquarius vibes, so I don't know if you're dealing with an Aquarius, you have a lot of Aquarius in your chart, this may be something that's coming up for you. Also, maybe you've been spending a lot of time in bed, you've been really tired, maybe your body is really giving you the signs and the things that you need to hear, and it's time to just really pay attention to that, and maybe taking a lot of baths. I'm feeling just a lot of rest and respite, but it's been maybe more depressive, if anything. It's also like creating more pressure and like needing to like do work, and so it's just like you're trying to push through, but you're not listening, you're not resting, you're not being able to really fill your cup back up. So we see all these cups, man. All right, here's your oracle card. Open your heart into the body of life. This is from the section of death. This is the Prophet Oracle card set. So let me go ahead and read this for you and see if this opens up anything. You would know the secret of death, but how shall you find it unless you seek it in the heart of life? The owl whose night-bound eyes are blind unto the day cannot unveil the mystery of light. If you would indeed behold the spirit of death, open your heart wide unto the body of life. For life and death are one, even as the river and the sea are one. So it's almost like you've been going down this kind of false timeline, and I've experienced this before. Almost like it's this false timeline where everything, seems like you're doing all the right things, but nothing's working out. It's basically like you're going down a hallway without any doors. Like you feel like you're going somewhere, you're excited, you're waiting for something to pop up, something to open up, but there's nothing. And until you realize you're just in the wrong wing, you went in the wrong direction, you went about it the wrong way. And the wrong way is usually, it's usually because like you're trying to force something. You're trying to force something. I'd like to pull a couple of these chakra cards real quick. I didn't do that with the other readings. I don't know. I'm just feeling called to do it for you. So let's see what we've got here. Expression. Something that you're holding back. I feel like, if you're feeling really emotional, really tired, needing to rest, like there's something that you're holding back that's causing a lot of damage to your vitality. Truth. Withholding truth. It's like you know who you are, but why are you so afraid? Why are you so afraid to step out in this way? Divine consciousness. You're blocking yourself. And it could be you're not in the present moment. You're not in the present moment. It's always about the next step. You're not playing a game of chess here. You're not playing a game of chess here. You're able to move freely. So whatever role it is, whatever piece you think you're playing in the greater picture, it's not... It's more than that. Like, you're not on the board. Like, how do I want to put this? Because I keep getting chess, and now I'm seeing 444. It's like, you don't need to put up your defenses. This isn't a game where there's offense and defense. this is an unfolding and a remembering of oneself, an honoring of oneself. And this false narrative, this false timeline that you've created about yourself is creating this chaos, is leaving these plans unfulfilled, is closing doors for you, so you don't end up having to deal with a much more devastating collapse and unfulfillment in the future. So ride with this now as it is. It's not the time to build something new yet. It's a time to tear down all the things that aren't working. It's a time to prune a little bit. You can do this. You can do this. And you may be a little tired, and that's okay. And you may have a bit of a headache maybe sometimes, and that's okay. Drink plenty of water. Open yourself up to some spaces of silence. Maybe step away from consuming some media for a little bit, or whatever it is that's keeping you plugged into this very regimented way of moving through whatever it is that you're doing. Unplug from that. Find your own space. Get away for a second. Come back to you. Whatever it is that you walked away from previously, that you really had your heart set on, there's a way in which you can bring it back now, but do so on your terms. And whatever, wherever you feel like you don't have enough, recognize that right now it would just be excess that you wouldn't know what to do with, that you wouldn't invest very wisely. So find gratitude in that you don't have anything that you're able to waste right now. Nothing is a waste. Everything that you do have at your disposal is crucial to your development from this point forward. I'm also getting a lot of deja vu. So you're right where you need to be. Everything is fine. Everything is leading up to this moment. You do not know what's next because you still have work to do on you. So stop trying to trudge forward. Stop going down this hallway without doors. And instead, try to find a map. Try to find a map. That way you can see all of the places you've been. That way you can look at that big picture. Because maybe you've pigeonholed yourself. Anyways, that is what I have for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, consider donating or booking a one-on-one session with me. I hope that this resonated, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye.